form a relationship with them in a way that we both have peace with each other, even if it doesn't look like the way I would have preferred. That's why I met somebody just the other day that was talking about the incredible relationship they have with their ex-husband. They couldn't get along when they were married, right? But, as I put it this way, they learned as much as they could at the time, as the truth would put it, and then appeared to separate. But now, because the form of their relationship is different, then they have more peace with each other than they did when they were together. So sometimes a real relationship looks like it's no relationship in terms of how the world would have judged that relationship. So you have to ask yourself, do you want the happiness or do you want the form? Do you want the content of peace or do you want the picture that you're insisting on having even if it's not bringing you peace? You can have happiness tomorrow. You can have happiness tonight if you're willing for it to look like something other than what you've made up your mind it should be. What? You can have happiness tonight if you're willing for it to show up in the way it can show up for you the easiest right now, which may not be the way you think it should show up. So would you be willing to ask for happiness to show up in your life in the way that it can now?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to ask for peace in your life in the way that it can show up now? That's not a trick question. Are you willing to have peace show up in your life in the way that you could experience peace right now?
Yes.
Okay, because if you're truly experiencing peace right now, how could it be in a form that wouldn't be the right form?
Right.
If I'm happy, how could it be in a way that wouldn't be the right way for me to have it? Okay, so tonight what we're trying to do is join our minds with our hearts. So my mind is saying, I'm ready to have peace and joy and healing in my life. My heart can only respond to that. As a matter of fact, your heart corrects all the errors that your mind makes. But then you go back to thinking the same old way again, so you recreate the same situation again, and then your heart corrects it again. Because your heart is much, much more powerful in terms of creating your reality than your mind is. Wow. So that's why days seem different, because I create something with my mind and my heart heals it, then I do it again, and so then my heart heals it. So I have a good day, what I call a bad day, then I have a good day, what I call my mind in charge. My heart is in charge. My mind in charge. My heart is in charge. My mind is in charge, so now I have conflict. My heart is in charge. I'm following the center of my being. Now I have healing. Now I have joy. Now I have synchronicity happening in my life. Now I have things going in a way that's bringing me peace in my perception, because I'm letting my heart be in charge. The center of my being be in charge. And it corrects the situation that my mind has made up. And then I go back to the same old thinking, so I recreate another challenging situation. Then my heart has to get back centered and involved again. And I call that good days, bad days, several days good, several days not so good.
Wow. Earl?
That's in this book. I love it. I can seem so brilliant because I read. I love it. It's a great, because the answer to, I found out the answer to everything I wanted to know had already been given me, but I was so addicted to being right that I wouldn't let myself hear the answers that were provided.
Wow.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. So you have to ask yourself, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? Do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? So then it goes on to tell us this yearning must be a pure yearning. What's a pure yearning? It's a yearning that's untainted by fear. It's a yearning that's untainted by judgment. It's a yearning that's approached with wholeheartedness for it to be fulfilled. It is not the means that are lacking, but it's your wholehearted desire that's lacking. It's not the means to have what you want that's missing. It's your wholehearted desire that's missing. It's your passion that's missing. It's your excitement that's missing. It's your enthusiasm that's missing. It's the way to have what you want isn't missing. What's missing is your fire. What's missing is your desire. What's missing is your fire. What's missing is your desire. What's missing is your fire. What's missing is the desire. I have no desire, but I'm expecting a total transformation of my experience. Even if that feeling is anger, it's still some emotion. It's still a feeling. You can use that behind your true thoughts.
Wow.
Well, that's true.
Wow.
And if you're a person that's upset most of the time, then you have a lot of fuel to use mostly all day long. But we don't associate I'm mad with I should be asking for the truth while I'm angry.
Right.
True.
Yeah, we think I can only be asking for the truth when I'm feeling good. But the truth is, you could affirm the truth in the middle of a temper tantrum. I want peace with you. I really want peace with you. I want us to join. I don't want to be separate from you anymore. Can't we both come together on some goal or purpose? See that? What am I saying? I want not to attack you. Let's be quiet right now. You see what I'm saying? Look at all that emotion, but I'm not saying the same things that people used to say, which is basically, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. If you were different, I'd be happy. It's your fault. If you were different, I'd be happy. If you acted different, I'd be happy. If you said something different, I'd be happy. That's what most people say in anger. Not, I want to let go of the blocks to join in with you. I want to let go of the blocks to join in with you. I want to see you correctly. I want us to have peace with each other. Can't we forgive each other? Can't we see this differently? Same energy, totally different outcome. It's a matter of motivation. It's a matter of whether or not I have reached my limit. Because until I reach my limit, I will not change. Some people have a tolerance for pain that's pathetic. It's just unreal. It's ridiculous how much some of us can take before we'll say I deserve to have it a different way. Have you noticed? Have you noticed you got some patterns you've had since you were in the first grade? I ran into my little diary I wrote when I was 12 years old, not too long ago. And I was looking at it, and I was having my same issues in the 5th, 6th grade. It was tripping me out. I'm serious. I had written down some of the same things I journal about right now. You come here knowing what it is that you're here to work on. And the pattern that you can't get rid of is the thing that you're getting the biggest payoff in. The pattern you can't get rid of is the one you got a tremendous payoff going that you're not ready to give up yet. You can't ever find a relationship that clicks for you. The payoff is you never have to give and connect in a relationship. But you can keep telling yourself you really want one. The truth is you're scared to death of them. Because let's face it, if you really connected with somebody that was right for you, you'd have to really love. You'd have to really show up. You'd have to really be committed. You'd have to really communicate. You have to really open up if they were actually in a relationship with you. But if I'm afraid to open up, wouldn't it be best for me to pretend I want one, but it just never shows up? If I'm terrified of what I would do if I had a lot of money, if I think I would just bankroll my own insanity, you know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. If you don't like your life and you're afraid of what you do with the little that you have now, what would you do if you had 10 times that amount to play with? So if I'm afraid of my happiness and I'm afraid of what I would do with abundance, then I'm going to make sure I never have too much for my own safety. Right. So actually, you all have as much money as you feel safe to have. That's depressing. And that's very exciting depending on your financial situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So would you like to get rid of that? Would you like to let go of that block? Yes. Yeah, okay, then it would go something like, well, how can I allow myself to remove the blocks and my fears around having abundance in my life in ways beyond anything I can imagine? That's all you have to do is ask. I dare you to ask. Every time you're worrying, I dare you to ask a question. Every time you feel angry and you're ready to project or attack on someone, I dare you to stop in the middle of that and ask, well, how can I have peace in this relationship with this person that I'm seeing myself as upset with right now? How can I see them differently? I'm determined to see them differently. I want my mind and my heart united in joining with them in peace. You don't have to do anything. But when you're ready for a change, then you put everything in a question. When you're ready for a change, then you'll do what you're being asked to do. But until then, you just hear it over and over again, because every time you hear it, it increases the possibility that you'll start using it. So it's good to hear this stuff over and over again, but the magic happens when you use it. What do you mean? It happens when you start asking. Thanks for listening to this month with me tonight, okay? If you give it to yourself, we're going to do a little review here before we get out. Woo! Don't try to remember everything.
Oh,
look for your one thing.
Oh, mercy.
I'm going to do the love offering, and then Who would care to share one thing they heard tonight that they'd like to remember?
Am I feeling lighter or heavier?
It
doesn't get any simpler.
Yeah, I'm presenting this situation to myself. Does it make me feel lighter or does it make me feel heavier? You can also ask your body what it wants and what it wants to do. Everything is consciousness, including your body. So a lot of times you can ask your body, what does it want to eat? What does it want to wear? Who does it want to call? Who does it want to be around? Who does it want to be touched by? Who should you touch? Your body will let you know. So with everything, everything is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. So if you feel lighter, it's more true for you. If you're feeling heavier, you know at some level it's not something that in your heart you really want to do. And if you're doing something that you don't really want to do, you've already learned that creates fear and conflict, and so it attracts some type of a fearful situation into your experience. Anybody else? One thing you heard today that you'd like to hold on to? Leanne.
If I'm feeling negative or judgmental toward anyone or anything, I need to just recall something of gratitude, something that brings gratitude to me.
Yeah. Yeah, something that, substitute the thought of gratitude. Yeah, that's a biggie. Anyone else?
The impossible is possible if I open myself up to it.
The impossible is possible if I open myself up to it. And let go of the idea that I've got to be the one that figures it all out.
Yeah.
Get rid of the idea that you've got to figure. I know we all have the adult grown folk disease, which is we're supposed to know how to do everything and figure everything out, even though we don't even know what it is we're supposed to be trying to figure out. And so then we all pretend like we know what's going on, but all of us know we really don't know what's going on at all. Not really. We're just doing the best we can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot I'm not small. Thank you.
Yeah. It's okay. It's as soon as you say I don't know, then the universe will give you the answer. Anybody else?
Just ask. The president
Just
is my point
ask.
of power.
Say the president is the point of power. Right now, it's the point of power. Right now, it's